So when I saw the short video of Jennifer, they're asking him questions, and I always thought politicians should have some form of thick skin that doesn't matter if fans are coming to their meetings or people who are not fans. It's an open meeting. You're running for office, and everyone has a right, especially people who live 10 minutes from you.
That's right.
So I thought it was a courageous move by Jennifer being there and raising these issues. So I thought it would be nice if Jennifer could come up. I'll ask some questions. She'll answer. We'll talk about this issue. People could ask questions then. And Jennifer, come on up.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. It's been a rough 10 days. So thank you for everybody's support. It's been great.
Well, a lot of people have, from what I understood, reached out to you and said a lot of support. But, what do you expect from the biased media also?
Yeah, they make noise. That's what they do. We expect the left to do what they're going to do, and that doesn't really hurt. We just don't pay attention. You talked about sacrifice.
Yep.
You talked about that, and let's be honest. I mean, sacrifice. I mean, I yelled and screamed, and maybe people call me bad names, but that's not that great a sacrifice considering what I'm fighting for, which is, I'd like to say I'm fighting for Canada, but quite frankly, I'm fighting for my little grandbabies. And so that's being humiliated or being called a racist. I can handle that because, it's both sacrifice.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, so you touched on the thing about being called racist. Okay, so you go to a political meeting, and it's the guy that's heading the meeting is MPP Jagmeet Singh. The person who heads the meeting is Jagmeet Singh, who's a Sikh. So, I mean, for everyone watching this, big deal. You're a politician, doesn't even matter what your background is. But they're making an issue of it. So he's there, and they're accusing you of being a racist for asking him a question. What do you think of that?
What question?
Well, I'm confused.
We'll get to that.
I'm confused. I don't understand. I was dumbfounded, actually. I have been called a racist for my stance against Islam, against Sharia, but I was confused at why approaching this very powerful politician was racist. I didn't understand that. There was some confusion there, for sure.
Right. Yeah, I would certainly agree with that.
Which politician?
The whole notion that you go to a political meeting that's headed by Jagmeet Singh, and no one denies he's a Canadian citizen, never came up, but he is an aspiring leader of the NDP, and he represents that riding there, and he went there, and there's no other MP, and he's made his positions loud and clear.
Absolutely.
And you asked him about what?
I asked him, I told him I believed he was in bed with the Muslim Brotherhood, which I do believe but can't prove. And then I asked him, I said, I know where you stand. You stand on the side of Sharia, and I would like to know when that Sharia is going to end. What is your drawing line? Is it now? Are you done now? Or is it going to be when we're throwing gays off buildings? What is your deciding point? And I'll say, when I've received a lot of confusing messages about how what Sikhs stand for and things like that, which was very confusing to me. I didn't approach this man as anything other than a politician making really bad decisions. And I don't care what religion he is, and I base a human being based on the decisions that they make, particularly when they're a politician. We can tell very clearly what they stand for. He stood for certain things, and I don't care what his religion or race says he stands for. To me, that's racism. The people that contacted me to tell me he's Sikh, he doesn't believe in any of that stuff. That is racism. I define him based on what he said, what he did, and I approached him as such. Plain and simple.
Good for you.
Now, he responded, if memory serves me correct, on the video, saying, let's show her love, let's show her peace, let's show her affection. So presumably he's talking to his fan base. But you have been vilified by Antifa and the left and threats. Has he made any kind of a statement scolding them?
Absolutely not. And to be honest, I knew I was walking into hostile territory. I went there on my own. I could see by who was there and speaking to the people that were there. I was in it on my own. And I just wanted to ask the question. And I thought I would get a slippery kind of politician answer. I was very surprised when not only did he not want to answer the question, he didn't want anyone to hear the question. That was what was most shocking. Really shocking.
That's right. Scary.
Right. Right. And I've seen a lot of tweets, many tweets, and many messages from various groups on Facebook with threats. And when he stands up in front of an audience and says, let's show her love, and then this is the reaction that he's nothing but a BS artist. And this person has to be exposed as much as he should, as much as we're capable of doing. There's no question about that. The fan base, Antifa, they're dangerous people. They represent the opposite side of morality. And they are in bed with either the Muslim Brotherhood or radical Islam, and they want to see our demise. And they're the ones that are making the threats. Okay, so people could ask Jennifer questions.
Well, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do you know if, like Banani's trying to replace, is he a dual citizen?
Is Jagmeet Singh a
Yeah.
citizen? Well, I don't know.
You don't know.
Well, I do know that
Because
he's...
Mulcair is.
Okay.
He's French and
I do know that Jagmeet is not allowed in India, and he's one of the first politicians in Canada, the first politician in Canada, who's been denied entry to a democracy. He's been denied entry to a democracy based on his horrific actions and statements. That's pretty shocking.
So he's got
Not
some
a
history.
nice guy.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so where do we start? How can we attack this man? What can we do as individuals in JDL? Let me know, because he's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Well, people ask me why I chose Jagmeet. I didn't choose him. He was running for leadership. He's in my backyard, and there he was, standing there. And all I could think to myself is, where were we when Justin Trudeau was rising to the top? Where were we? And all I could think of is, I have to hold this man accountable. I have to at least, and I knew I was in hostile territory. I knew I was the only one, but I did not care. I need to stand and at least say, what are you doing? What are you thinking? And how dare you? And where is your line? So I think that that's really where it's at. I mean, the media is trying to teach us a very powerful lesson here. Do not stand up. Do not. You must take what the government's taking, and you must deal with it. So we all need to stand up, and if it needs to going, just all we need to do is go to meetings like that and say, hey, what are you doing? Imagine if there was 2 of me, or 3. Imagine if there was a man standing beside me, right, who was hysterical.
Who would have answered the question?
Who would have answered the damn question?
What about social media?
Absolutely.
What about getting the word out there? Because until tonight, I didn't even know this man's name. So don't we need to expose him personally?
Yeah, but it's
We're
not
powerful as social media artists.
as slippery and slimy as this guy is. Unfortunately, he's not the only one. So I like to say these guys are flirting with Sharia. We're actually down to foreplay. Like we're about, I don't mean to be crass, but we're about to like get it hard, you know. And so yeah, that brings me to that. Like so, people think I behaved irrationally, yelling and screaming, and I should have asked the questions. I should have said, hi, I know you're a Sikh, however, and posed my question in a thoughtful and calm manner. But quite frankly, I've been doing that for a year and it's gotten me nowhere, right? I'm angry. I'm angry and I'm afraid. And I bet you there's people in Venezuela who are now picking through the garbage to feed their babies who wished they had screamed earlier. I bet you there are, and we know this is socialism. Socialism is the best friend of communism. I guarantee you, there are many people who wished they have screamed, yelled, stomped their feet, and thrown themselves on the floor because the time is now. We cannot wait. M103 is crashing down on us. We're about to lose our opportunity, right? We're going to lose our chance. If we do not speak now, it is gone, right? So, yeah, I'm hysterical. Damn right I'm hysterical.
Personally, on media every way.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Okay, actually, I read, like, the left media was against you and they cut you off, and that terrible man was taken like he was a hero.
Yes.
And he's a jerk.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it bad names.
No.
All right, but he's not good.
Yeah.
He played his little role and he was a hero. But a lot of people is supporting you, Facebook and all the other stuff.
Yeah,
because they know
Yeah.
who you are and what you really try to say. One thing that I have to say, I know about the M103, I'm really concerned about a bill that is going to pass now this fall. It's called Bill C. I get a little bit emotional. Bill C 106 or 6 that allows this Trudeau, because he has majority of government, to get all these people, all these refugees to be Canadian citizens. He's even going to shorten the time to apply. He's cut it to 1 year, so I think all these guys can vote for him. So if that happens with that, we better live somewhere, because this will be no more Canada. It will be an Islamic country here. So I'm coming here for support because I'm really, really upset.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Well, listen, lots of work to do, and we're all in it.
Here's the thing with these guys. Here's the thing with these guys. These men, Jagmeet is a man who is representing us. He represents us. That is his job. If we feel he is not representing us, which we know they're running rogue and not representing us, when we feel they are not representing us, it is our right, it is our duty to stand before them, email them, phone them, and when they don't respond, go stand in front of them and say, I do not agree. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Hold these people accountable.
Yes.
That is our right. And you're right. What you've hit it on the head. It's about big government. It's about power. There's a lot more of us than there is of politicians.
There is.
We need to take our power back now.
We have to speak up.
Now.
Listen, Jennifer's 100% right, and it's amazing. She's from the grassroots. She comes out, she attends the protests, and stepped up right to the plate.
Mayor, could you say her first and last name for the live stream?
It's on the title too, Jennifer Bush.
Bush like the president, not like the beer.
All right.
There you go. No relation to George Bush.
No, I'm only a third
It's
generation
going to
baby.
be passed now. It's called Bill C 6.
Yeah.
Right.
So this guy will do it, and all these guys will come, join, you know, free house and everything, vote for Trudeau. It will be up there again. It's really, really.
Well, listen, there's a lot of groups. We're connected, and we'll be doing a lot more activities. But I thought it was important that tonight that we address this issue. Jennifer, did what she could, and it's important that everybody stands with her because it takes courage and determination and not being afraid, and that's the message of this group. No fear. Go ahead.
Well, just to further dig at Jagmeet Singh, I'm of the impression that he supports Khalistan. We want to add that to the list. It's interesting to note that the Sikhs have two types of turbans, the short one and the beehive, the tall one,
Okay.
full one. And the only Sikhs I've ever seen in public wearing the beehive one were the ones who did their India crash.
It is.
Complete disaster. Any other questions, comments?
What's your next event? Where are you gonna go next? We'll support you.
Well, listen,
This was my next event.
we'll
This
figure-
was my next event, absolutely.
We'll
It's been
figure that.
it's been overwhelming week, but I just wanted to put it in perspective for people that are watching the media and that may be afraid. Seeing what I've gone through and because that's the message. Don't stand up. Don't stick your neck out. We will crucify you. That's the message. But I just want to say, let's put it in perspective. I yelled at a guy that wasn't doing his job correctly. This is a guy who's putting every one of you, your babies, your grandbabies, your sisters, and your mamas at risk. I yelled at him, and I will damn well do it again. And if the media wants to say we're bad people for doing that, well, then the media be damned, right? This is, I yelled at a man. So what? You know, don't let this stop you, and let it empower you.
I see a lot of videos, there's a lot of video out there on YouTube of Senator John McCain. And, you know, a lot of people don't like him. I'm not a big fan. I'm not an American, but I know some of his positions, and he has meetings. There's these videos where people who oppose him come right up to him, almost the exact same way that Jennifer came up to Jagmeet Singh. They come up to him, they're holding a microphone, and they're raising issues, real serious concerns, and he doesn't bat an eye, and he waits, and he takes his turn to answer, and at least he answers. At least he gives the courtesy of giving an answer. There was no courtesy by Jagmeet Singh at that meeting. So listen, we can go on and on, but listen, everybody, I think you should show your appreciation to Jennifer.